Alright guys, we're back for another Dokkan Battle video. Now, I've gotten to this a little bit late, but I did want to do a video on the brand new BROLY event story revamp. Before we hop in, I do want to awaken the three sort of new units with this event. All three of them are, very, very easy to awaken. Well, I mean, with the new... Okay, so these medals traditionally were very hard to grind up, right? But after the event reset now, the revamp, these medals are absolutely super easy to get, as you guys are going to see. It's not difficult at all now to get these, sort of the medals, grinded up. All right, so Videl and then this Trunks, they were previous units that have already been in the game, but now they got new awakenings. Goten is brand new though. This Trunks is probably the best of the three. I will be rainbowing him, and we'll definitely take him into the Legendary Goku event because he does permanently stack his defense, which is really nice. And then again, this Goten card right here, he is a brand new card added to the game. He's now a new farmable unit added to the story event. This is good. This story event now has 3 farmable units. When I did the video on the Android Saga 1, I did mention how I thought it was kind of stupid how, like, a lot of story events will give you, like, 1 farmable unit. So, like, a lot of the stages are super pointless, right? I think a perfect example of this is a story event that will be coming to Global very, very soon. The Shadow Dragon Saga story event. Here, I'll continue that in a second. We got the 8 stages here. This does actually have the first BROLY movie as part of this story event. I was a little surprised by that. I thought they would split them up into 2 new story events and, probably bring movie 8 story event, later on in the year or something like that. But it is still a part of this. As you guys can see, the medals are now spread out through different stages. It's not just do the last stage to get the medals, right? Of course, we have the 3 units that awaken, and that's pretty much it. The other thing, too, is, of course, we now have the Hybrid Saiyan category. Gives us increased drop rates for the event, right? That's very, very good. I'm getting to this super late. This event has been up for weeks now, but, just because of the fact that I was here, we're just going to take a Hybrid Saiyan team pretty much the whole way through. That is the team that gives us the increased drop rates and stuff like that. Okay, so let me just... Sure, we'll just take this team right here that I already have built. We'll just go ahead and take this through all of these stages, right? So, like I was saying, right, the Shadow Dragon Saga story event, which is coming to Global very, very soon, that story event only has Vegeta Jr. as a farmable unit in the story, and then medals to awaken Vegeta Jr., and then the orbs to 100% him. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe all 3 of them come from the same stage. I think I'm going to double check that, but, that story event is coming to Global very, very soon. Yeah, I'm going to pull it up while I'm talking, just to... sort of confirm this stuff. But I remember that, like, there's just so many stages in that story event, and, like, so much of it is just completely worthless, right? Like, stage after stage after stage you go through, where really the only thing you're getting is, like, just, like, random awakening medals, just random training items, like, nothing actually, like, super worthwhile, right? Which I think is not really the best look for these story events. Like, all these story events, like, we need at least, like, a good, I don't know, 2 or 3 farmable units per story event, right? So, like, let's see. So, that Shadow Dragon Saga story event, it's 12 stages long. It's 12 stages. And then looking through it, yeah, it seems like the first 11 stages, it's just like random training items, Sensu Bean, like random awakening medals. Those are all the rewards. Like, why would they make a 12-stage story event and then there's like nothing? There's no point. Looks like the awakening medals for Vegeta Jr. come from missions. So, Vegeta Jr., you get his medals from missions, right? And then Vegeta Jr. himself and his orbs drop in stage 12. So the first 11 stages are 100% pointless, which I don't like. All of these Shadow Dragons, dude, they couldn't have given us a couple of farmable Shadow Dragons? Like, we only have a usable Nova, Ice, and Sin /Omega Shenron, right? But we don't have, like, all the other 4 dragons are completely worthless. And the other thing, too, is that in this event, and then also the, Shadow Dragon, like special event you fight to unlock the Omega Shenron EZA, all of it coming very soon to Global. By the way, we're just going through the first Broly movie right here. This, I believe, is the stage that drops that support item. The little dudes that were there on the planet kind of enslaved by Broly and Paragus, right? But, like, there's a new Oceanus Shenron, and then I can't remember what the other Shenron is called. It's called, he's the nature Shenron, right? Where, like, he kind of, I think he absorbs Pan, right? And then he kind of turns into, like, a big, like, sort of, like, T-Rex thing or something like that. Like, there's a new version for those characters, yet they're not actually in, like the game. We can't get them or anything like that. Like, that is a huge wasted opportunity, in my opinion. Like, to not let us get those characters, like, it doesn't make sense, man. It does not make sense. So, in the future, like, we can't have so many, like, worthless stages. Like, I like that there's a lot of stages to get stones. That's good. So I guess, the stages aren't completely pointless because they do give you a stone per stage, right? And because all the stages have, like a normal and a Z hard difficulty stage, that is 2 stones per stage. But, like, that's, they could give us other things, like, new support items. Why couldn't we get, like, a Giru support item or, like, a Pan support item from the Shadow Dragon Saga story event? Because, like, Giru and Pan, they're with Goku the entire time. They're there for every single battle against every single Shadow Dragon. So, like, I feel like one of those support items. How about a new, like, damage reduction support item or something like that? Maybe they don't want to make anything better than Whis, which is 40% for 2 turns. But how about giving us, like, I don't know, what if there's, like, an item that recovers, like, 50% HP, and then it gives you, like, a 10% attack and defensive buff for 2 turns? That would be a really interesting support item. That would be really good to use in, like, a lot of difficult stages and stuff like that. It could be a Pan and Giru support item. Again, 50%, healing, and then 10% attack and defense for the whole team for 2 turns. That would be a kick-ass support type item. Like, the new Android Saga story event, they did give us the new training item, along with, Android 18 and Goku's Awakenings. So there's more stages with actual stuff in it. And then, like, same thing with this one, right? We got the stage that drops Videl. There's the stages that drop the Gohan, Goku, and Goten medals. Trunks and his medals both drop in the same stage. We just have a lot of different stages like that that drop all this stuff, which is nice. The other thing, too, like, for me, getting the Goku, Gohan, and Goten Family Kamehameha medals has not been difficult, because, of course, you guys know I'm a mega uber ultimate whale, right? So, like, I've easily been able to just get all those from the Baba Shop. Throughout the years, every time those medals pop up in the Baba Shop, I've always bought them. So, I have, like, 200 each of all those. But I know, like, I saw all the global players talking about how annoying farming those medals are, because before the event was revamped, all 3 of them drop in the same stage, and they're not guaranteed drops either. So, like, oftentimes people would have, like, 20 Goku medals, 20 Gohan medals, and then they have, like, 3 Goten medals, right? And then it's like, you need all 3 types of medals, though, in order to actually, like, awaken, like, the LR Gohan and Goten unit and stuff like that. So it was a real pain for a lot of people. But now they've amended it. So, not only is there a Hybrid Saiyan drop bonus now, so, like, as you guys can see, like, when we go to the stage, we're gonna get, like, 4 and 5 copies of those medals every single run. Like, just an absolute joke compared to the way it used to be. The other thing, too, is as we go further in this event, you guys are also gonna notice that they do actually have LR Tech Broly scattered throughout this event. Like, the last couple stages of this event, we fight that LR Tech Broly in, like, every single stage. So, like, LR Tech Broly, he, like, just tonight, he was actually shown on the JP Twitter account. So that means he's coming, within 1 to 2 days. I'd say 1 to 3 days after the recording of this video. This probably won't go up for a couple days, though. But even before he was shown off on Twitter, we knew that he was coming for sure, just because he's in the story event so heavily, right? So I'm sure Global will get the update to this story event, and then probably Broly's active skill, because on Global, Broly is still not, he doesn't have a voice on his active skill, but that will be fixed. They already mentioned it in the news for Global, that Broly is going to be getting his active skill soon, because they said that, You know, there's a character in the Japanese version that has a voice active skill. Of course, that is BROLY, and it was confirmed tonight that BROLY will have a voiced active skill when he first shows up on JP, right? But they did mention in the news that Global would be getting that shortly. So I think the revamp to this story event, as well as BROLY getting his voice, is probably not too far off for Global. I mean, there's a number of things now. Oh, did I not? Yeah, whoops, I jumped right in with so we got the Realm of Gods team plus Ultimate Gohan. How good. But I'm sure all that stuff is going to be coming soon to Global, right? Things like the Copy Vegeta story event. So that one is completely... Who knows when that's going to show up? Because that was designed to come out along with Transforming Vegeta, who, for whatever reason, Global did not get that story event. That was dumb. I understand why Global did not get the Universe 6 story event, because that is tied more closely with LR, Kale, and Caulifla. So Global will get the Universe 6 story event when Global gets LR, Kale, and Caulifla, which I'm sure is probably going to be... I mean, honestly, what Global might do is they might get the LR, Kale, and Caulifla to come out, and then after LR... Okay, well, So, because I'm thinking, right, so Global right now is in the 4-year anniversary, right? So for the rest of July, that's all Global's going to do. Then the anniversary, I think, officially lasts until, like, August 10th to 12th, somewhere around that time, right? So at about that point, Global should have time for one banner, you know, be it maybe transforming Super Saiyan Goku, a Dokkan Fest exclusive, or maybe it'll be LR, Kale, and Caulifla. And then I think immediately after that will probably be the 300 million download celebration that both versions will get. Right now, a lot of people are speculating that it could be like a dual Dokkan Fest of like a transforming Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, you know, with an active skill and a Perfect Cell with an active skill. I do think that is very, very possible. I don't want to use the word likely, but that's definitely very, very possible that we could see, you know, a Gohan. Maybe not specifically an LR, but just like a Dokkan Fest exclusive. You know, they could come as part of the 300 million download festival for both versions, right? But Global should have time to fit in either an LR banner or a Dokkan Fest exclusive just in that little bit of span before the 300 million download festival will start. Because if you guys remember last year on Global, that was actually when they slid Turles in. Turles came out on Global in that time span, and then unfortunately he didn't come back until the 4-year anniversary because of like the weirdity between Global and JP. But you know, that could be when Global will maybe get LR, Kale, and Caulifla in the Universe 6 story event, right? You know, we'll see when exactly this is going to come out. So there, of course, is the SSR for LR Tech BROLY. You know, he's pretty much the opponent we fight in like every single stage moving forward from here. And then these are all the stages now where we get like the Goten card, Trunks is another one. Let's see, and who else? Videl. Like all those cards drop from these next couple stages. I think the Goten and his medals drop in the same stage. I'm pretty sure that, you know, Trunks and his medals drop in the same stage. Then we get the Gohan medals from the final stage. So it is nice that they put a lot of story event medals in the Baba Shop too, by the way. Because I've been saying this for a while, but free-to-play players, you know, Baba points are farmable. Like, especially as you guys are going to see when we're going through some of these events here. Like, you know, especially with the extra drop rate buff. Like, some of these cards, you know, we'll get 4, 5, 6 copies for one run, right? So, if you have, like, you know, a lot of LRs on a Hybrid Saiyan team, which is honestly not that hard, you know, a lot of them are free-to-play, right? Like, you know, the LR Physical Gohan is free-to-play. It's very easy to get him. The Prime Battle Trunks, I would say, is relatively easy to get. You know, those, with the boost feature, it's not difficult to get Prime Battle LRs whatsoever. Like, a lot of these LRs here are free. You know, LRB Pan, free. So, your drop rate is going to be very high. So, you could do these stages over and over and over, you know, get all the drops for, like, that Videl or something like that. Like, Videl is an SSR. So, you know, you just Baba her, and she should... I think she gives 1,000 Baba points for that Videl. I'm pretty sure she's 1,000 Baba points. We can actually double check before we finish up at the end. But like, you know, that's, so one run, you know, could get you, so we got 2 copies. We didn't get any bonus drops, so we got 2 copies there. That's 2,000 Baba points right there for what, like 15 stamina or something like that? And then like, just that 2,000 Baba points, that's enough to buy, you you know, I don't know, like 10 medals, 10 copies of those medals, because I think oftentimes, like, the Super Saiyan Family Kamehameha medals, you know, I think they're like 500 Baba points for 2 of them, but, like, so often, there's discounts in the Baba shop, right? So, like, you know, you can easily pick up medals like that are super difficult to get. I always recommend free-to-play players to pick up certain medals. Future Gohan medals from the, like, Trunks story event, that's a big one to get, because those have a terrible drop rate. The Family Kamehameha medals you'd no longer need to get, because now with the new drop rates here in these stages, they're super, super easy to get. So, like, look at that, boom. We got 6 of the medals. I think this is the Goten stage. So we got 6 medals already in one run. Like, in the OG event, dude, it's like, to get 6 Goten medals, you have to do the stage like 20 times or something like that. So, like, it's just a huge difference when they revamp a lot of these story events and give it the extra drop rates. I'm not sure if this is the Trunks or the Goten stage. Let's see. This is a Trunks stage. Okay, but same thing. The Trunks and Goten, they have the same drop rate on their cards. And then the medals also have the same drop rate. So we're probably going to get similar drop rates here for Goten and his medals on this stage. Because this is definitely the Goten stage right here. And then the final stage will give us the Super Saiyan Gohan medals. So very, very easy to get done. JP players, remember that LR Gohan and Goten, they awaken with the medals. And then I believe Tech Broly also does awaken with the... I'm not sure exactly what medals he awakens with. You know, it's been a while since he's come out in Global and I looked at it, but I think he takes a little bit of all 3. Plus, he does take some medals from the Dokkan event, right? The Family Kamehameha Dokkan event. So make sure, you know, you kind of get those ahead of time. I will say this: I don't recommend JP players summon for LR Tech Broly, just because I actually like that Tanabata banner quite a bit. You know, having 3 featured LRs, you know, 3 of the 6 or 7 best units in the game on it. I think that's a much, much better banner to summon on. Plus, again, keep in mind that we're probably going to get the 300 million download celebration. I would say like the last week of August, beginning week of September. Listen, it's possible that by the time this video comes out, we'll have gotten the V-Jump leaks already, and we'll find out, you know, that like the 300 million download celebration is like the first week of August. That could happen, because 2 years ago, that's exactly what happened. I believe August 1st, we got the info for the 200 million download celebration with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta as well as Omega Shenron. So that could happen. Like, again, August or September is when the next download celebration will happen. That should be when we get the tickets as well. You know, 1 ticket for every 50 stones spent, stuff like that. So there we go. So this is a Goten stage. 1 copy of his card, and we got 8 medals. Again, to get 8 Goten medals, you guys know that's, you know, that's like 20 to 25 runs probably on that stage. Unless you get God tier luck, that is a ton of runs. And then as we do these last couple stages, I do like what they did, how the opponents kind of go back and forth between the SCR LR Broly cards. And then the Tech LR Broly cards, like kind of, you know, back and forth between those. Okay, so, yep, there's the 8 Goten medals. As you guys can see, I'm almost at 300 of those. And then we got the 1 Goten card. Now, when you're grinding up, like, these farmable cards from some of these events, I certainly do not recommend grinding up, like, SRs. Like, if you're going to grind for Baba points, you want to make sure the card that drops is an SSR, because the difference between an SSR and an SR for Baba points is like a huge number, right? So like Videl, I think she has a decent drop rate. I remember she used to have a really bad drop rate, because I actually got her to SA10 and opened up all her dupe paths like 2 years ago, back when I first started my JP account, and she had a horrendous drop rate, because I remember you would get 5, 6, 7 copies of that Trunks before you would get 1 copy of Videl, because they actually dropped in the same stage, right? Whereas now, you know, you can actually go into different stages, which is, you know, very, very nice. But a lot of those cards, ooh, nice! We're gonna get to see Tech Broly, his super attacks here. So, you know, as you guys can see, the super attacks were in JP early and stuff like that, because this enemy, oh yeah, 20 damage. So, alright, later, Broly. Wow, he actually, dude, he survived that. That's impressive. For a story event boss So like Goten like doesn't like he was over on 1 million attack stat right there. That's pretty impressive. And then there we go, 8 medals, 8 Gohan medals right there. So as you guys can see, the drop rates are fantastic. Then there's the art for LR Tech Broly right there. So as all these new arts come into the game, they get like better arts in the story event and stuff like that. And I believe most of this pretty much looks exactly the way it did back when this event first dropped, which at this point was, I think it was about 2 years ago when this event first came out. Oh, you know, another story event that Global has to get, by the way, Global still needs to get the BoJack event story revamp, does it not? Yeah, so some of these story event revamps, they come at odd times to Global. I don't understand. Like, some things come super fast right now, like Dokkan Fest exclusives to Global, but then, like, Easy A's and the story event revamps, they come, like, hella late, man. It's just very odd. Like, it's very... Akatsuki, I don't know. I don't like their thinking for, like, the timetables and all that stuff. At this point, dude, just... everything start coming out in both versions at the same time. The game should celebrate 2 anniversaries, Global and JPs. Like, that's the best case scenario. Everyone wins in that scenario. I guess, except for Global players that like Global being behind. Like, then at that point, you know, you guys aren't going to win out because stuff will come to the, both versions at the same time. But I think overall, for the game's health, it probably would be better if everything came to both versions at the same time. So, real quick, just going through, so Videl, yep, Videl is 1,000 Baba points, and Trunks and Goten are 100, right? But like, boom, there we go. Just a couple runs through these stages, that's 2,300 Baba points, which again, is more than enough to get several copies of like medals and stuff like that in the Baba shop. So let's see, yeah, so like, this Frieza medal is, you know, 2 copies of it for 500 Baba points, right? So like, we could get that. This Nappa Grade 8 medal is an annoying drop one, so you definitely want to get that when that shows up. The Ginyu medals, those are pointless, but I always pick them up. Definitely want the Fruit of the Tree Might. The Boss Rabbit medal, I guess, is kind of annoying. The Kabe medal, that you don't really need to buy that one too often, but that's kind of what I do. You know, I just go through, get all the event medals that I can. But, alright guys, so there we go. There was the Broly story event. Again, I'm probably going to do a rainbow video for Kid Trunks very soon. I am going to rainbow him because he is a permanent defense stacking unit. The Goten and Videl I've already done videos on. I probably will rainbow Videl at some point once I get more SCR orbs, but for now, I'm probably not going to. So, thanks guys for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time.